everybody, sorry for the delay, the late post. I usually try to post my tutorials around the middle of the day, but to be honest, I didn't want to make a tutorial today. This was like the first nice day that I could go outside without a jacket, and I just wanted to be outside all day. So that being said, this is going to be a somewhat short tutorial. No real dancing, mostly just verbally explaining and demonstrating. And I also thought it would be pretty convenient to use a clock analogy, because most of us just finally put our clocks ahead 1 hour. It's starting to really feel like spring. We have some more daytime. I also figured it would be helpful because I just posted a video on how to get around in your pirouettes, and I talk about spotting and how spotting can help you squeeze out an extra little turn sometimes. I do already have a video that is just tips for spotting, but there is still a little bit of confusion on when and where the head turns in relation to the body. And I have a question. I'm a little confused about spotting. Does your head precede the body a little bit, trail behind your body slightly, or does it stay stationary with your body and just your eyes move when doing the pirouette? So there is no one hard rule about when you turn the head. If there is a rule, I would love to know about it. But I think this is something that mostly depends on the flexibility of your neck. For example, my mom has cervical stenosis in her spine, so she can hardly spot at all. I think her head is mostly stationary and she just does the best she can. There are other people with very loose necks. I am one of those people. I have a very loose, hypermobile neck, so I can leave my head for quite a while until I whip it back around. So yes, the head goes. It both lingers and precedes the body. And unless you are doing some weird Balanchine witchcraft where you spot the audience even though you're turning some other direction, your spot generally tells you where you are going. So if you're doing piqué turns across the floor or chaîné turns, or if you're doing a ménage, specifically changing your spot during your ménage is really going to help you from getting dizzy and just kind of falling out of this, circle pattern that we have to make. So let's say front, just facing front. So if you're standing in the studio and looking at yourself in the mirror, that's 12 o'clock, okay? And then one little tick to your right is 1 o'clock, and then 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock is directly behind you, 9 o'clock is directly to your left. Are we good? Do we know where we are in the clock? So we start looking at 12 o'clock. And let's say we're starting our turn. So let's say we're turning to the right. So our body is turning towards 3 o'clock. I would say leave your head at 12 o'clock. And once the body hits about 3 o'clock, that's when you should start turning the head. That's when you should start your spot. And there is a moment where your head is lined up with your body. It's like your body started and your head passes through, but then your head beats your body there. So I would say your body's turning to 3 o'clock. You start whipping your head around. For a brief moment, maybe around 6 o'clock, they do line up. But the goal, once you pass 6 o'clock, your head should already be beating your body there. It should get there first. It should get there sooner. And that is... And it's right here at this moment that your spot can help squeeze out an extra turn. Because if you were to just stop spotting at 6 o'clock, sorry, traffic noises. If you were to just stop spotting at 6 o'clock and leave your head, there's nothing leading your body to finish the turn. Part of spotting and having a sharp spot also means that your body is kind of forced to follow along. Your brain is telling your body, look, there, that's where we have to go. So your body is like, oh shit, okay, I better catch up. So that's what I mean when I say a good spot can help you squeeze out an extra turn. When you are doing a ménage, which means basically traveling in a big circle, even though it is a circle, it can help if you think of the room as a square. So even though I'm doing a circle, At some point, I have to change my spot, and it's usually when you run out of room. If you're turning in one side of the room and you're starting to run out of room and you can't spot in front of you anymore, that's when you change your spot and look to the next side of the room, and the body will follow. And it won't make it look like you're dancing in a square. You know, it's really hard for the body to just stop and then continue in a different direction and make a sharp angle like that. So even though you're spotting the room as if it's still a square, your dancing is not going to look too square. It will still look like you're kind of rounding the corner. There are some exceptions to spotting, and I'm just going to mention them real quick and then we'll wrap up this video. There are some turns where you don't spot. For example, if you're doing an arabesque pirouette, you don't spot. You generally look over your hand. There are some grand pirouettes and especially en dedans pirouettes where you don't spot the corner, you actually spot the front. Or you start out spotting the front, but to land and stop yourself, you change your spot and then face some other corner. So for example, sometimes like an en dedans pirouette, we start spotting the front, but then when we come down from it, we have to finish an arabesque and then our spot changes. There are also situations where you leave your head behind to stop yourself from turning. So for example, if I was just doing chaînés this way, but I want to stop, I'm actually going to leave my head in the opposite corner. I think I encountered this the most when I was doing some kind of like sugar plum thing. It was chaîné, 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 but then it stopped in like a little passe kind of thing, and you have to leave your head behind and open the arms to kind of stop the body. This might also be one of those little tricks to get you to stop your pirouette in the air rather than coming down. Yeah. Okay, I think that kind of wraps it up. Like I said, this is a quick one. I want to go outside. I'm probably not even going to edit this until the sun goes down, so this is probably going to be a late night post. But thank you so much for watching, everybody. Oh, and I have a couple of other announcements that I want to make really soon, so maybe I'll post another video tomorrow or Friday or something to just kind of like make some announcements. But one of those announcements is just like a big, fat, huge thank you to everybody that joined my Salty Sunday in February. A lot of you interacted with the chat. You also sent little donations. It's called Super Chat, and you're able to like send little tips and something. This is the first month since having my YouTube channel that I have met the $100 threshold in only 1 month. So the way YouTube pays me is I have to accumulate at least $100 before they send it to my bank account. Ever since I've monetized this channel, it has taken me at least 2 months to get up to $100. You know, sometimes after 2 months, it's like $140 or something. But this is the first month that I accumulated $100 in 30 days, and that is going into my bank account probably on the 21st or the 22nd. And it is really all thanks to those who donated in the Super Chat. I think most of the money that is coming to me this month is from you guys. And it was a group effort. Some people only donated 5, some people donated 15, but it doesn't matter. Like even those little small amounts added up to a large enough amount that I get paid this month instead of having to wait another month. And that means the cats won't go hungry. And I am just so excited about that. So thank you so much. I'll probably mention it again in my next video, along with a couple of other things. See, everybody's outside. It's a beautiful day for riding motorcycle. Okay, I'm gonna go outside, and thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Stay salty, everybody.